At the outset, I'd like to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to talk about the role of surgery in castrate-resistant prostate cancer. I'm Dr. Mohan B.A. I'm a consultant in urology and uro-oncology in Fortis Hospitals, Bangalore. After the excellent presentation about systemic therapies by Dr. Niti and the role of radiation in CRPC by Dr. Harsha, I would like to tell about the role of surgery. As you have already learned from the previous speaker, the medical therapy has significantly improved the survival rates in patients with CRPC, anywhere up to 78 months based on the nadir PSA that has been reached. However, it has been found that up to one-third of patients without local treatment develop significant complications due to obstruction of lower and upper urinary tract because of the spread of the local prostate cancer. That is when the role of surgery has been uh, analyzed. So whenever there is a CRPC, as Dr. Niti mentioned, we need to analyze whether it is non-metastatic and metastatic. One significantly new advance that has been there in the last few years is the role of new entity called oligometastatic. Oligometastatic disease in a prostate cancer is defined as less than or equal visceral metastasis. It can be synchronous or oligorecurrent metachronous, where the primary treatment has been done either in the form of radical prostate or primary radiotherapy, and later the patients develop metastasis, but they are still oligo, or they are oligoprogressive in a CRPC status. So the role of radical prostate in oligometastatic, as Dr. Niti said, oligometastatic is mainly a systemic therapy. However, few selected patients, there is a role of radical prostate, especially in oligometastatic conditions, which is with a multimodal therapy along with the systemic and radiation oncologists. This is mainly has been seen when has been done in cancer centers with quaternary cancer centers. The role of radical prostate in oligometastasis was analyzed by CULP with the SEED database and found that there was a significant improvement in overall survival in those patients who underwent radical prostate, and also they had a improved disease-specific survival at 5 years. And with the same analysis, Antwi et al., they analyzed that there was a up to 75% lower risk of all mortality and a 70% reduced risk of death from prostate cancers in patients who underwent radical prostate in oligometastatic disease. And also there is a significant advantage in preventing the late symptomatic local progression. However, there is a slightly increased perioperative complications in this setting compared to radical prostate when it is done for a localized disease, and also increased chances of incontinence and erectile dysfunction. And in rare instances where there are single metastasis, there is also a role for metastasis directed surgical intervention along with the radical prostate, is either complete excision of the metastasis if it is involving a vertebra or a rib or even a small lesion in a bone, which can be regrafted with bone grafts. Then talking about role of TURP, there are dual role of TURP in CRPC status. One is palliative, as it's already is well known. It gives us excellent symptomatic relief in patients who come with urine retention, LUTS, or hematuria. Another interesting role that TURP has been analyzed is cytoreductive, where an aggressive TURP has shown to improve overall disease-specific survival and overall survival in patients with in CRPC settings. However, this is a small study which needs to be further analyzed. Another role of surgery is in patients who present with ureteric obstruction, which is quite common in locally advanced and metastatic prostate cancers. Ureteral stents are the cornerstone of treating ureteral obstruction. Normally, the silicone stents or the conventional stents are used. However, metallic stents have a significant advantage over these stents to reduce the frequency of change and also help for chronic relief of the ureteric obstruction. If the patient in a selected patients who have a good well-controlled systemic disease, even a complete ureteral reconstruction, either in the form of a ureteric reimplant or a Bori flap or even up to a ileal replacement of the entire ureter has been shown to be effective in a well-controlled patient who has a good performance status. And as a last resort, if none of these works, the patient can be on a nephrostomy diversion or extra anatomical bypass with a pylovesical bypass with a subcutaneous tunneling is also has been tried with reasonable success rates. Another role of surgery in CRPC setting is in patients who develop urethral stricture, particularly post radiation, either external beam or brachytherapy. The risk, although minimal, is has been seen around in 5% in patients who undergo both external beam and brachytherapy. The gold standard for treating such patients is either anastomotic urethroplasty, if there is a short segment with the rest of the urethra being healthy, or a buccal mucosal graft urethroplasty if the length of the stricture is significant and the tissue has been unhealthy and scarred. If the patient is not fit or not willing for such reconstruction surgery, a temporizing procedure in the form of visual internal urethrotomy or urethral dilatation is done. Or in some patients who are too frail for any surgical procedure, even urethral stents have been used with reasonable success. Although we use the term CRPC, the castrate-resistant prostate cancer, not all of them would have had a surgical castration. However, some patients might require surgical castration who are on medical castration thing, if they in a condition that they have not reached the castrate level testosterone, or for cost-effective reasons. Because as we all know, even in CRPC settings, in spite of the systemic therapy, patients need to continue the androgen deprivement therapy along with the advanced medical therapy. Last but not the least, one of the oncological emergency which is seen related to prostate cancer is spinal cord compression or impending spinal cord compression. There is a role for multimodality therapy here, including radiation, medical, and surgical intervention in the form of stabilizing or decompression of the spine, and also role of single vertebra excision if there is a solitary metastasis. Thank you for the patient hearing.